Let's have a big round of applause for Sandeep. Welcome Sandeep. Welcome to Horizontal Jaipur.
Thank you very much.
So let's just get started. First of all, raise of hands. How many of you know Sandeep already? So quite a few of. So Sandeep is one of the co-founders of In Time Tec and is a seasonal entrepreneur himself. I think he started with non-IT world. So that's where we all are curious, Sandeep. So first question to you is restaurant, hospitality, to real estate, to all of a sudden IT. Please help us connect the dots.
So I can tell, and I'll call team, this the team, right? So, by the there are many other things I have done. Real estate is not the second one. Second thing which I did was industry. I'm a mechanical engineer by education, and restaurant was not something which I wanted to do. It came as a proposal that somebody wanted to do, and he was looking for partnership. He didn't know finance. That's where I learned finance, and then. मारवाड़ी लोगों को फाइनेंस समझने में ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लगता है, राइट? अगर बनिया है तो दिस इज इनग्रेन्ड है. इवन दो आई एम अ टेक्नोलॉजी बैकग्राउंड, that was like he came to my father knew that, and then his father said, okay, let's start this, because I wanted to do business. I never went for a corporate job. First of all, I was lucky enough, didn't feel like that earlier. No campus happened in our college at that time. So लगा ही नहीं जॉब. फिर इच्छा तो थी बिजनेस करने की, तब वी वेंट फॉर, मैंने कहा ठीक है. दैट टाइम दिस ऑप्शन केम फॉर स्टार्टिंग ए रेस्टोरेंट. तो 96 February वी स्टार्टेड and it's still running successfully for us 27 years in one of the good one restaurants in Bikaner. People who go on there, they know. So it's running for last 27 years. That was the first venture. I worked for around 1.5 years mostly, and I learned finance from there. Now I handle entire finance in Time Tec also. That's one of my charter. So that's where I started. But being a mechanical engineer, I wanted to do something in production industry. Mechanical engineer का रहता है कि dream रहता है कि if you can start something. So we researched, and it was we finalized. Industry is a big investment item. So we found 3 other partners, and we started that. 3 years I really worked hard for that industry. Commission भी किया, market भी किया, सब कुछ किया. But it didn't work out between us. That was my dream project. That was the second project, and it didn't work out. 3 साल में I don't remember a single holiday, no Sunday, no Saturday. And maybe morning 7 बजे चले जाते थे, रात को 9 बज रहे हैं, 10 बज रहे हैं. Never looked at it. That's how the life was for those 3 years. And didn't work out. It was very difficult at that time. And then didn't know what to do, and then lost a lot of money in that also. My father invested his savings, and after that, where to go? I went Delhi to search for a job. In 4 or 5 days, I said, that's not I want to do. I came back. My mathematics was good. I started teaching maths. That was the third thing I did. And then maths was very good, by the way. So I started teaching maths. Whosoever come, I will teach maths. It's IIT or CA or MBA or engineering students. You come, I'll study one day before, I'll teach you next day. And that's how I used to do. I also took a franchise of a design institute. In that, I got my place where I can teach maths, and then there are other designing courses we could run. So that was running for 5 years. In like couple of years, saved some money, couple of plots we bought and built houses. The market was coming up. There got at least decent return. So I thought that's a good place. Maybe real estate I can start now. I started in real estate. There was my friend from college, and you may have seen him in LinkedIn, Jeet Kumar, who is global CEO of In Time Tec right now. We both were together in college. He was in electronics, and we were roommates in hostel. So and we became very close friends.
दोस्ती.
हाँ, दोस्ती वो उतना मतलब उस समय साथ में रहते थे, बात करते थे. We never talk about what other boys used to talk. We used to talk, कभी कुछ करेंगे साथ में, अभी कुछ पता नहीं था. And he was very passionate man. If you ever meet him, maybe someday we'll bring him also here. And then we used to talk, we'll start something together. In 2004, he called me. He was in US, and then he told, Sandeep, I want to invest in your business. He knew that I'm doing business. I was already doing real estate by that time. I said, real estate is doing okay right now. And then maybe that's the business we should start doing. Then I moved to Jaipur. He was a silent investor at that time, and I was actively working in this one. So that real estate was going on. But real estate is very capital intensive business. You need lot of capital. We didn't have that much capital to invest. So we just kept doing couple of houses we build and then sell, then you build and then sell. That was the thing going on. So in the meantime, we thought to build a like travel website. That time yatra.com was popular and Make My Trip was coming up. 2007, Make My Trip started just now before that, but Yatra was popular at that time. And we registered a domain called ghumlo.com. Domain name was also very good. It was attractive. Then my friend told me, okay, you go to see the Yatra office in Delhi. I went Gurgaon. There was Yatra office. I saw 300 engineers working. I said, how will we build this one? It's required even more capital. Earlier software, we didn't understand how much investment it takes. We didn't build that website because that was idea was to build that kind of website, but it was pretty expensive. And that time, this capital and other things, see, we were a traditional thought process. We never thought about capital raising and all those. At that time, it was not that, ecosystem was not there. So we did the travel, simple travel, like package booking and other things we were doing. And I also took Airtel distribution for this Chomupulia, Ambawadi, Vidyadhar Nagar, and that side I got Airtel distribution because time बहुत रहता था. Real estate में 2 मकान बनाने में इतना time नहीं जाता. So I was doing Airtel distribution also. But somewhere there was underlying current that something can do better. Something we can do better. In 2008 that he wants to come full out of HP. That's the time I wanted to create something meaningful for people around, but it didn't. Mostly it was a survival game so far, and then just money was coming. That's not a problem, but कुछ करने का था कि what do we do for people around? How can we make life better for not only for us but people around us? So that was a underlying current. I can give language right now. Maybe that time I didn't have this language to share. And when he called me, I knew that together, like at least. That's the kind of partnership I was looking for. And then we talked about multiple ideas that time also. What should we do? Because he was coming full out, we didn't think that because we were in real estate, we thought about iron roads, we also talked about electric bikes, we also talked about garment industry in Ludhiana. Then eventually we finalized that let's do IT. He said, I know IT. I said, I don't know IT, I've never worked on IT. He said, you take care of non-IT departments, I'll take care of IT side of it. That's where it was a conversation of maybe 9th of September 2008, and 10th of September we registered a domain intimetech.com.
In Time Tec, wow, nice.
So, and then because we always talk about time, we were like when he called me that okay Sandeep, you think about some name, and I told Jeet, we always love time. What about In Time Tec? When we searched on Google, the GoDaddy, In Time Tec, which H was not available. That's why you see In Time Tec without H right now. Right? So that's how In Time Tec came in existence. And then Jeet knew other 3 founders from HP days, Rakesh, Dan and Matt. They are other 3 founders. And that's where we became 5 founders to start this company. And then year after year we worked hard, very traditional way of growing. No capital, no funding, nothing. It's a homegrown, self-made company. Very, very important to make profits also. Nowadays I don't understand people create big companies without profits. Never understood that concept. And then founders go away and behind people just doesn't work for people. We want to make sure we create something which is long lasting and which creates worth for people, where people can achieve their dreams through this dream. In Time Tec is a dream. We always say there's a big wall written. If you ever come to In Time Tec office, outside the office it's written, achieve your dreams through our dreams. How do we create that? We don't want to leave people hanging in between and we make a lot of money. That was never the focus. Money was never the focus. How do we create something meaningful? That's why you see our mission statement, it says creating abundance for everyone we touch. How do we create? The society that we have grown, there's a lot of scarcity around. And then before we know, it's a mindset also. We rush in airports also when there's an announcement of boarding, even though our seat is fixed. Right? So that's a scarcity mindset. You don't see in developed world. Many of those things you don't see. We just feel that we'll miss something if we don't rush, if we don't catch it first. That's a mindset we have developed. How do we change? So what we believe, abundance is a mindset and it can be created. Can be created by providing opportunities. Like in Time Tech, there are 1,000 people working right now, providing that kind of opportunities, and one direct employment means 10 indirect employment also. Not only that, mindset. We work a lot with people on how do they show up for their families, for their work. What is their relationship with this world? How do we convert their mindset from scarcity to abundance? That's the mission we are on, and I think that's a brief journey. So, like this is many things I've done in my life.
So this also reminds me what Steve Jobs once said, right? Connecting the dots backward is super easy. You can see everything flashing in front of your eyes, and connecting the dots forward is extremely difficult.
You cannot even connect dots forward. You can always connect dots backward.
But very inspirational story, Sandeep. Thank you for sharing this with us. Now we know how your journey has unfolded, and in that direction, I was again, doing some research on you, and I came across this one interesting, and I'll quote you here, statement where you said that before creating my first successful business project, I experienced multiple ups and downs.
Yeah.
And
Downs mostly.
Yeah. So I just became curious. So I want to know what was the worst downfall that you have experienced so far.
Yeah, the industry experience. I worked really hard, and it worked. We got a lot of good business also, by the way.
You mean the production line that you have set up?
Yes.
Okay.
So we used to manufacture this ceramic chemical. You have seen this ceramic tiles. So there is a chemical is applied on the clay tile. That we used to make that chemical. It's a completely mechanical industry, and we got orders from likes of Somani Tiles, Orient Tiles. So I think we got good orders. What didn't work at that time between us partners. This is the most difficult thing that I have seen in my life, and then that was the most heartbreaking experience. I was very naive, by the way. At that age, I was just working hard. I knew how to work hard. I don't know how to, how do I confront, how do I communicate? So maybe I learnt over a period of time through various experiences. But that was the most difficult time. If I look now, I can say it was a learning experience, but that moment I cannot say that. Yeah. It was tough. So you can say, people say, okay, when you don't succeed, you will learn. I can also say that now. But honestly, when you go through that at the age of 20s, that's not easy to digest at that moment. And it's definitely important for a person like me to learn. I don't think nature could have found any other better way, because once you are naive, you don't know how the world works, you learn hard way. You need to learn.
So what is that one learning from this worst downfall experience that you took and applied in Time Tech consciously to make sure that it does not happen again?
So it's mostly the communication. Open communication. Difference of opinion will always be there. Just talking openly, whether it's a family. See, partnership and marriage are the same thing. There's no difference. If you really ask me, we live with our partners maybe 8 to 10 hours a day in office. With the wife, I don't think I spend that much time. So it's the same thing. We just need to talk openly about the difference of opinions and come to a common point where we both can sail together from there. That's what I have learned. In this, mostly in our company, like Jeet is global CEO, he's the bridge between both the parts of the world. And there's one thing we apply very closely, all of us at this moment. See, five people coming together after 15 years, definitely they have gone through their own conversations. So we have also gone through that, but communication is the key for everything.
Communication. I think that's an interesting one and important one.
Very important. At home also, people wait for other to talk first, and I say you talk first.
And this also reminds me one of the story that you shared, that you were outside the town and some neighbor of yours yelled at your kids while they were playing, and when you got back home, everything was very tense. Then you called your neighbor, he started yelling at you. Was that also a communication thing that you applied
all communication. See, when he was pissed off, Honestly, if you ask me, it was really so. My son was playing. He was maybe 10 years old, 10, 12 years old at that time. He was playing on the street with his friends, and then he started shouting. I was in Bangalore. I was coming from Bangalore the same day. By the time I landed, I was consistently getting calls from home. This happened, that happened. I said, no problem. I reached home maybe around 9:30, 10. I called neighbor. तो उसने बोलते उठा के बोला हाँ क्या बात करनी है अभी देख तेरे को भी देख लूँगा मैंने कहा ठीक है कम आउटसाइड एंड देन ही केम ही सेड मैं मंदिर में आता हूँ 10 मिनट में ही केम फॉर हाफ एन आवर आई डिडंट अटर अ सिंगल वर्ड आई जस्ट लिसन टू हिम आई जस्ट लिसन ही वाज वेरी एंग्री आई जस्ट लिसन only thing after he said everything all kind of things he said like people say in Jaipur right so we don't need to go into details but one thing I didn't say a single word in the end I asked a question जब आप बच्चे थे क्या आप सड़क पे नहीं खेलते थे he said मैं खेलता था बहुत खेलता था तो मैंने कहा क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या है मैंने कहा प्रॉब्लम क्या है आपको ये बताओ प्रॉब्लम ये है कि मेरी सिस्टर इन लॉ का एग्जाम है शी इज़ गेटिंग डिस्टर्ब तो मैंने कहा कब एग्जाम के 15 दिन बाद है 15 दिन तक ये बच्चा बाहर नहीं खेलेंगे 2 मिनट कॉन्वर्सेशन वो बोले दैट्स ऑल ही हैज नथिंग आई सेड नहीं खेलेंगे मैंने 15 दिन बिल्कुल नहीं आएंगे रोड पे एनीथिंग एल्स कि नहीं तो मैंने कहा आप इतने बोल देते मेरे को वेरी सिंपल थिंग बट पीपल डोंट कम्युनिकेट एंड इट बिकम्स ह्यूज एट होम आल्सो इट बिकम्स ह्यूज एट ऑफिस एवरीवेयर से अगर मैनेजर नहीं सुनते आपके अब मैनेजर बैठे हैं है ना यहाँ भी बैठे होंगे मुझे आइडिया नहीं है लेकिन नहीं सुनते टॉक कम्युनिकेट शेयर योर पर्सपेक्टिव कुछ नहीं सी बोलने एटलीस्ट यू शुड कम्युनिकेट योर पर्सपेक्टिव एंड लर्न हाउ टू कम्युनिकेट डोंट मेक अदर पीपल रॉन्ग जस्ट कम्युनिकेट योर पर्सपेक्टिव आई डिडंट मेक हिम रॉन्ग बिकॉज ही वॉज नॉट रॉन्ग फ्रॉम माई पर्सपेक्टिव he has an opinion something must be running in his mind don't know let me ask first let's understand others perspective अपनी प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि दूसरों में तो गलती है and we try to impose our perspective on them that becomes a problem so what is the if we understand others I don't see any problem see I have not met a single person who is intentionally bad in this world not I take thousands of interviews I have taken not met a single person वो किसको कह सकते हैं नो ही इज कैटेगरिकली बैड आई हैव नॉट सीन अ सिंगल पर्सन बट दैट्स नॉट पॉसिबल एवरी ह्यूमन बीइंग वांट्स टू डू वेल इन दिस वर्ल्ड देन व्हाट्स द प्रॉब्लम व्हाई डू वी नीड टू फाइट
डू यू गाइस नो Sandeep did not want to do mechanical engineering
yeah I didn't
and this is where again the curiosity of Mike took over I just wanted to understand that you happen to do something which you are not into mindset wise how did you curate your mindset to make this mechanical engineering happen
if you really ask me honestly that age didn't know much there was offline counseling happening and there was 16 NIT at that time so I wanted electronics in Jaipur and all other 15 NIT I could have got whatever I wanted computer science in some of that started in Jaipur it didn't start that time and I could have got electronics any NIT other than Jaipur. All NITs was available. And then the offline comes, he suddenly asked, what do you want? I said, okay, electronics. He said, not available. Mechanical. Okay, take it. Done. Now once you get, and I didn't know, didn't have any guidance about IIT exams. I never gave that. I looked at it, can I give again? I don't think I wanted to give again. So if you really ask, then I followed the suit, and that is nothing to curate our mind. You just do what you got, honestly. Didn't think that much.
Did you do well in your engineering?
I did okay. at least I got I was in top 10 student. That's all. It didn't do very well, but it's all good.
So he was in top 15 RPET. Then he was in top 10 and he did not do well.
Engineering college top 10, nobody studies there. You know how it goes, right? So mostly it's about the memory power and the questions that come over there. See, it's 5 out of 8 and you understand how the system works. System is not very conducive in engineering colleges. And then definitely Coming from a studious background, I used to study a little bit, but I was not very much interested. I never gave, my heart was not in it, but I studied.
So even
RPET definitely I worked very hard, and then I got rank 40 in Rajasthan, and then in 12th I topped the Bikaner division. So by that time I used to study a lot. In engineering I did okay. That's why I said I did okay.
Okay. So you have heard the story, right? Jeet called him. He came over from US. He was working in Hewlett Packard, and both of them, good friends, hostel roommates, set up 4 days to brainstorm ideas.
You have read all the articles.
Yeah. What is it that we should be doing? 4 days. Then they had a nice breakfast, and then they started the conversation, and they finished the conversation in 30 minutes. And then the remaining 3 and whatever days, they just watched movies and played cricket. And in 30 minutes, In Time Tec came to existence.
Yeah. So I think this.
What did you talk about in those 30 minutes? We can't even finish our 101s in 30 minutes.
So this was about the real estate when we started first time, 2004. In Time Tech happened over phone. So, so 2004 when he called me, and then he told that I'll be coming to Bikaner and we'll talk about what kind of business we should do. That time we didn't decide that we'll start, we will go into real estate. I was doing smaller business. And when he came, I remember 10 to 13 December 2004, he was planning to come. We'll sit and we'll create a plan. But in 30 minutes, we said, I'm doing real estate, that's going good. He said, let's invest in real estate, let's start this. I said, I'll move to Jaipur, I'll wind up my education business, I'll move to Jaipur. This all decided in 30 minutes, then we just spent time together. I think till now also, we don't spend time in decision making. We just do whatever a gut feel says. It's all a gut feeling. No data is enough to take decisions. How do data tell that now you can take the decision? So still I think we don't talk about any decision more than 10-15 minutes. Even in Time Tech we talked about this electric bike. He went to a company in Bangalore who was already manufacturing. We got details from China how to assemble electric bike. Tried, and one day he called, let's do IT. I said, IT looks good. My cousins are into IT. I've seen that looks fancy to me. I've never done that. Then he said, we can do IT. Let's do IT. We'll get in projects from internet. That was the initial idea. And that's how next day we registered in Time Tech. That mostly happened like that. We didn't meet face to face for this.
And that is where you have also said that the longer the decision making is, the weaker the decision is. And I'm quoting you there. What do you mean by it?
See, anything that we need to, suppose you need to buy a car. You take 5 models on internet, you check the differences and you choose one, or maybe take 2-3 test drive and buy one, maybe 3 to 4 days decision making. Now look at it, how much time you spend on that decision making. If you are taking less than 3 days to buy a car, it's good enough. But if you are taking 2 months to decide on a car, or anything, mobile, or be it anything in life, how do you know now you have taken the right decision? First ever, if you see, when you go to market, right, when you go to a store, when you see first cloth which you like, you don't buy it. You want to see the entire store and I'll buy the best. Some people can relate. And then end of the day, you buy the same which you liked first. Isn't it correct? But end of the day, it's all about gut feeling. First you like, that will work. So we just go with our gut feeling. The biggest decision that we have taken in life, whether it's a business or mine in the arranged marriage. In like arranged marriage, what happens, half an hour you take a decision, and that's what we have also taken. 25 years I will be completing in January. How do you know it's the right decision or not? That's the biggest decision, life impacting decision. Now we think about which mobile to buy and we do all kind of research, read reviews. Even people buy earphone, they do all kind of research. Buy a good earphone, how does it matter? If your budget is 5,000 rupees, just buy any earphone. If I go to Reliance, ask them to show 5 earphones, just buy there. Why you need to read it?
So in other words, like making progress is far more important than getting stuck into thinking for decision making.
Definitely, speed of execution is the most important thing but that as far as I see, if you really see like people like Mark Zuckerberg, why he wears the same T-shirt every day? Don't want to waste time in this one.
Yeah.
That's very important. Speed of execution is the key nowadays, and it was always maybe.
But that's again an interesting perspective. So make a decision, start making a progress. Even if you fail, you are better off than you were before taking the decision. Yeah. And if you succeed, you would have already made a progress. So irrespective of the result, you are in a much better position than getting stuck with a decision.
Yeah, definitely. Not moving is not an option. So when you ask like, what choice do I have, at times, see, there's no other better way to live. You just keep moving, and then let's see how the life unfolds. How do we know which decision will work and which will not?
Okay, moving on to the next interesting bit then, Sandeep. So you have also mentioned that one of the most considerable success you have achieved at In Time Tech in last 14 years is to lead the In Time Tech family on a mission to go beyond a typical corporate mindset. So I have two questions there.
Yes.
What according to you is a typical corporate mindset?
Employer and employees relationships are very strained. Employers think they can squeeze everything from their employees. And employees think, you try it out, I'm also smart enough. And then then we use our mind and energy in that direction. Suppose a fresh engineer, you enter a company, you have nothing in control, you are a raw clay. It's up to those leaders, how do they shape you up? And then you also become one of them eventually after 3-4 years. You need to go out of your comfort zone and do that. And as a leaders, it starts with people like us. Then only we can demand from others. So that's what I can say.
So how did you manage to go beyond this typical corporate mindset in Time Tech and manage to curb it?
So there are multiple. So we do spend a lot of times with people. See, if you come to our office, we don't have any chamber. I have a chamber, doors are always open. As a part of our value of transparency, anyone can reach out to us anytime without any hierarchy. 1,000 people, anybody pings us, we will respond in 24 hours, we'll set up a meeting time if needed. In addition to that, we spend a lot of time, lunch and dinners, other things, we just spend time with them. There are multiple programs we run in the company. There is a program for fresh graduates that's called Learn and Grow. That is for their personal development. Jeet started this program. There is a program called Learn and Integrate for the lateral hires, similar kind of program which I am leading. There are multiple other coaches. There are a program called Learn and Code, which our CTO, another founder Rakesh leads. So we have created multiple programs. We can interact with each employee. Every employee that enters in the company, they spend 3 days off-site, which Jeet leads, and then they spend a lot of time to understand the culture. So we have created a lot of platform where we can interact. See, अगर हम नहीं जाएंगे ना आगे से बात करने, आप लोग नहीं आओगे कभी भी. Because you will feel that जाएं नहीं जाएं, does it make sense? How will they feel? क्या सोचेंगे? क्या है? You don't know. So we need to start. So we have started many initiatives. And then very informal conversations. For so many people who are there for 3, 5, 7 years, we know each and everything about their life, their families. You just need to really take a deeper interest. There's no other way.
Interesting. Yeah. Very thoughtful. You also said that your failures has taught you a very profound lesson that you can either operate from the world of complaints or operate from the world of actions. What did you mean by it?
See, we go outside, there's a lot of traffic at times, right? कभी-कभी mall के आगे से निकलते हैं, there's a lot of traffic here also. What do? Do we complain or we do something about it?
Usually complain.
Yeah, and then how does it help? See, if we get down from our car and help that, because we are, see, for us, other people are traffic, for them, we are the traffic. So whose problem it is? Can we get down from our car and resolve that traffic? Or that's the best thing you can do. If not, listen to music and enjoy the traffic. At times you cannot do that, and I also don't do at times because this not in my control. the only thing is in my control. I don't lose. Why do I lose my peace? I am also part of traffic right now. So I just put the music on, and if it is minor one, then I can get down from the car where I can really resolve. At times I cannot resolve because that's how people's listening is towards me. They don't know me. But if 2-3 cars are there, I can get down from the car and resolve.
And if we put that perspective in our work context, so in other words, are you also implying that if we look at our work from the world of actions rather than from the world of complaints, we can be at peace and do better?
Definitely we can do, because there are no, see, always we can, what other option do we have? We can complain, but how does it help? That's the question to ask. See, it's easy to complain, but complaints, if you think about it, the moment we complain about traffic, I can again go back to this example. We are off the hook. We have no responsibility to take care of traffic after that. It's somebody else's problem. Same at workplace. The moment I complain about my manager, suppose, or any employee, it's about that person. I'm off the hook. I'm not responsible. The moment I say no, this doesn't work, and I'm going to do something, I invite lot of work towards myself. Now, that's responsibility. There's a Sadhguru talks about responsibility, not about any religion particularly, but that's what I listened one of the video clip about responsibility. He talks that everything that happens around you, you are responsible. If you think like that, no complaints, do whatever best you can do, and that's it. So at workplace also it's very helpful. Now, having said that, as a human being, you should not think that like this is some different kind of word, दूसरी दुनिया से कोई बात हो रही है. At times we also lose peace and we also complain. ऐसा नहीं है कि होता नहीं. The only thing is that what is the frequency of going out of sync and what is the depth. कितने दिन तक चले जाते हो उस पीस से बाहर और कितनी बार होता है ऐसा जीवन में. The frequency and depth both has reduced a lot in life lately. A lot. It doesn't happen too many often. It happens sometimes as a human beings cannot go out of it. I don't know cannot, but at least I'm not out of it so far. The only thing it does, that frequency and depth both has reduced. The moment it go out of sync, maybe 5-10 minutes, come back, no problem. Let's do something about it. And then frequency also reduced. It doesn't happen like earlier maybe 5 times in a day, now it's reduced a lot.
Nice.
It's like ongoing work. See, एक ही आदमी पे अपन काम कर सकते हैं खुद पे. दूसरों पे किसी पे कर ही नहीं सकते काम. So that's the only place we can work upon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very interesting perspective. But again, it takes a lot of practice and mindfulness.
It's ongoing practice.
To practice it.
It's
right?
ongoing practice.
Okay.
You watch yourself, reflect. There's another article about reflection. So all these things which we are talking, I have written also about my experiences of life and what I learned. The reflection is one of the things very, very important. There is very, I really personally like that article, reflection, and one more, vulnerability I wrote, power of vulnerability, something like that. Reflection, daily in the evening, looking at my day and asking 2 questions. Did I give my 100% today? And what more can I do tomorrow? These are 2 things.
Yes. Speaking of vulnerability, you said that vulnerability is mostly understood in negative connotation.
Yeah.
While if practiced consistently, it creates immense amount of learning and growth. How can one practice vulnerability consistently?
कुछ नहीं करना है, ऑथेंटिक रहना है. जैसा अंदर वैसे बाहर. Somebody want to misuse, let them misuse. कोई आपका फायदा उठा रहा उठाने दो. See, vulnerability is all about being authentic. अभी आप मेरे से कोई भी क्वेश्चन पूछोगे, anything you ask, I'll share what is the real is. I cannot share which is not true. मैंने ये कर दिया, मैंने वो कर दिया, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. It's all like that's not true. So I'll share whatever the authentic is, and that's the only thing which works in this world. That's what I have seen. So being vulnerable means just being authentic with yourself and being authentic with people around you, and then ready to learn. When you are vulnerable, you will learn. That's what I can say.
Vulnerability also means that do not think about your image.
Don't think about your image.
Right, and just be very open and frank about what you are going through and
Definitely.
what are your struggles are.
Yes.
We often, I think, confuse ourselves in trying to portray a very good image of
Very good image
ourselves
of us. Always.
consistently. Yeah.
So I talked in this conversation also, I talked about Jeet and then he's a bridge between two. It doesn't make me lesser. See, he leading the thing doesn't make me lesser, right? I'm doing what I do my best. That's what it is. And then talking about other people, most of the people will avoid talking about other people, or like I can talk about anything that I saw. The moment I came, I said, I really like this interiors. We built a new office over there but when I entered, the moment I entered, I told Anil, I like this interior. It's just say what you comes in your mind. Yeah. Don't think about your image. People will, either way people will make judgments about you. See, people will always judge you. If somebody is worried and concerned about judgments, people will judge you all the time. If you say something, people will judge you. If we don't say something, people will judge you. आते हैं शादी में कोई बाहर दूर से आ रहा है, देख के जज करने लगते हैं उसको. तो जज तो लोग वैसे ही करेंगे ना. तो मैं क्यों अशांति से जीऊँ? I can just be authentic and live peacefully. You judge me whatever you want to judge me.
Do you think asking for help is being vulnerable?
Asking for help is also being vulnerable. When you don't know something, you should ask for help. If you, for somebody capable. If I am like technology, if something comes to technology, I have no hesitance because I have never coded. I reach out to Rakesh, who is our CTO, because I believe that he can solve these problems. So asking for help, I don't want to go in a meeting without that proper backup of technology to look like it will not work. I know that.
And since being vulnerable is okay, asking for help is also okay.
Asking for help is perfectly okay. I ask help all the time. In fact, created when you talk about it, you can only work as a leader when you really make leaders around you.
Interesting. Any questions in the room?
My question is like, how do you prioritize these people first thing in your leadership approach?
See, any conflicting situation, people first. That's how we look at it. Sometimes people ask, our bottom line may not be that heavy at times, right? And then it's very hard to explain what you are asking because it's all practice. People make the company don't make people, by the way. So people has to be first in our thought process. When we talk, suppose I talk to you, for any concern that you have, I better listen to you and do my best to take care of that. Maybe I am not able to resolve, and there are multiple reasons for that, but it's just with you. Maybe you don't look for resolution also, you look for only support. Nobody looks for resolutions. You are intelligent enough to resolve your own things. But what do you look from your friends, your partners, even managers and your employees? You just look, okay, at least understand me. That's all we look for. And that's where people first comes, that where we can just listen. Like I was giving this example of neighbor, just listen. The moment you understand, that's all people first. Otherwise, fight is very easy.
Okay, we are about time. So maybe one last question.
Yes, sure.
And this is my favorite one.
Yes.
So, any regrets so far in life?
At this moment, I don't have any regrets. I think I would live the same life again. Earlier, maybe definitely about industry and other things, but now at this moment, I don't have any regrets. Everything happens for a reason, and I truly believe in that.
So let me flip the question.
Yes.
Anything you think you could have done very differently in your life so far?
I don't think so.
No.
I did my best. I gave my 100. As per my knowledge at that time, I gave my 100%, and then you learn through this process.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's have a big round of applause for Sandeep.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you very much. Once again, I know it's not an easy on a Thursday, busy weekday to carve out this much of time and agreeing to talk to us. We heartily appreciate it, and hopefully we'll get to meet you soon again. And I hope that all of you had something to take away from this conversation. Please feel free to get in touch with Sandeep, and if you have anything making you curious about leadership in life and at workplace, please feel free to ask.
Yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Lately, I become a little more active on LinkedIn. I understand social media. The power of social media. Need to be active. Earlier I was not, but lately I try to post something on LinkedIn.
Thank you very, very much. and hopefully we'll get to meet you soon again.